Yeah, Darren Till, Dricus Du Plessis. Tough one. Darren's a good friend of mine. Go on, give me your thoughts, Anthony, because I wouldn't hung out with Darren back at his Airbnb afterwards. So I've got things to say about that. But give us the fight.
Well, Dricus kind of double-crossed Darren a little bit at the very beginning by going right into a grappling exchange up against the fence when I think we all expected a striking battle from the get-go, which was a smart move by Dricus to jump on Darren in the grappling area right away as fast as he could. And Darren just was a little weird. I don't know if he was a little flat or maybe he just took him a minute to get going, but the referee about stopped that fight a couple times against the fence. And it was not that Darren was taking hard shots or that he was hurt.
There was a couple, though.
There's a couple
Darren's
that were hard.
Went, and I was like, oh, shit. And they were coming in quick succession.
And Dricus just wouldn't let him go. And Darren just, I don't know if he just had a brain fart or whatever. He just would not make the correct adjustments to get face to face and get off the fence. So the first round is kind of okay, Darren, we got to figure something out here. And then the second round, he was magnificent. He couldn't miss. He was light on his feet. He was fast as he was seeing all the punches coming. He just has these flashes of brilliance. I was like, oh, okay, this is the Darren Till that I was expecting to see. And I thought he was rolling downhill and it was just going to be a matter of time before Dricus crashed. And then the third round, I don't know what the hell happened. Like sometimes it seems like Darren loses focus or he gets distracted or maybe he's doing really well. And it's like he loses confidence that he can continue doing it the way that he's doing it. I don't know what it is. But
just refresh my memory. So in the third round, I know he got taken down and the takedown came very easily and he got neck cranked and the submission came fast. On the feet, what was happening prior to that? I haven't watched it back. Can you remember?
Yeah, Darren was again, I don't want this to be like a knock on Darren, but he's not moving the way that he used to. I don't know if through some of the injuries that he hasn't completely gotten his movement back, and maybe he never will. I don't know, but he's not as smooth as he used to be. Like even in the submission or in the takedown defense, I don't know if moving up a weight class has slowed him down a little bit, and maybe that's why he looks different. But he looks very robotic in some of those takedown defense kind of transitions. So even like as he got taken down, he just looks so awkward falling, and that's kind of what sticks in my head is the awkward way that he went down and kind of almost gave his back up because he had to catch himself as he was falling. It was weird. It was a weird transition.
Yeah. No, it was. Well, I went to see him straight away after the fight. I went to have a quick word to check on him, see how he was doing. And, you know how it is. You're down. It's not the end of the world. You're holding it together. You keep it in perspective. You've lost a fight. It's not like one of your children have passed away in a car crash or something. So he was down. He was devastated, but he was still holding it. He was being a man. Then I went to see him afterwards and he told me that number one, his ankle, something happened to his ankle in the fight and that was really bad. And then of course there was talk of the ACL. So I went back to the Airbnb with all the Block Asset boys that he works with. That's a company that him and I are both involved with. We're partners in it. And Brendan Lofton was there and we just had, we hung out, we had a few drinks. We didn't want to talk about the fight the whole time because otherwise that becomes, it's like you're focusing on the doom and gloom. You know what I mean? So, we're trying to have a laugh as well. But yeah, I think it's a mentality thing. I think the fact that going into that fight, losing 4 out of the last 5 really was at a focal point in his mind. So therefore he wasn't pulling the trigger because he said, I don't know what was wrong with it. He said, I just couldn't go. He said, I wanted to throw more. I wanted to do this. I didn't use my kicks. And he said, but for some reason I couldn't. And I've been there. And I'm sure you have as well. Mm-hmm. And that is the mental block. That is the nerves. That is the anxiety. That is the second guessing everything you're going to do in your mind because you haven't been getting the results lately. You know what I mean? Confidence is one of the biggest weapons. It's a double-edged sword. Of course it is because you can have too much and then that will cost you the fight. But you got to have that confidence. You got to have that self-belief to throw. You got to know that I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go 1, 2, and these are going to land. I'm not going to go one, dish, and then get caught with a massive two myself.
Right.
And that's the thing that goes on in your mind all the time. You're like,
Mm-hmm.
do I throw a kick? Because if I throw the kick, then I might throw the kick and he might throw a right cross or whatever. No, I'm gonna do a double leg. Oh no, but he's got a good take. These are the millisecond thoughts that go through your mind before you throw something. And even though he'd never identified that, it has to be because of the losses. You know, he wasn't throwing kicks. He wasn't as busy. When he did throw, he had great success. Those charging knees that he was using, they were beautiful. I thought that he looked a little bit overtrained. You know, he was keeping up with Brendan Lofton out in Thailand. I know how they train out there in Thailand. They train how I used to train. You can't push it balls to the walls each and every day. He was very lean coming into this. He looked in the best shape of his life. I think going forward, if he's staying at 185, he needs to bulk up. He needs to go on a serious strength and conditioning routine. I would like to see him, but even Dricus said on the fight presser, he said he wasn't strong enough. I could feel it. So I think that was one of them, one of the issues, overtrained. I feel like he wasn't strong enough. The takedown defense wasn't there. And I feel like he was second-guessing everything in there because of the losses.
Which is the biggest problem, is the second-guessing himself. And you're right. I've been there. You've been there. What does he do now? You know, he's got to – and he's not going to want to. But he's gonna have to back way up, and he's gonna have to give someone way down in the rankings an opportunity, which he doesn't want to do. He doesn't want to do that because he wants to continue to climb. He wants to swing for the fences and get his spot back and look ahead. But I think the best case scenario for him is to drop way down and give one of these up and comers, these young guys, these unknowns. Give him an opportunity to face a big name guy that holds a decent spot in the rankings, and hope that you can use that step down in competition as an opportunity to get your mojo back. The flip side of that is you drop one of those guys, you got a big fucking problem.
Well, that's always the problem, isn't it? It's the risk and reward. You know, you say, okay, I'm going to step down a little bit because I've beat this guy, but then you don't beat the guy. And it's like, right, you're done. But that's fight sports. It's always a gamble. That's the way it goes. That's the game. He'll be back. He's still only 30 years old. He still knows that he has got a long time left in this sport. And obviously, I'm a friend, and people say, oh, you're blind. I think he still has a lot of ability. I think
you're blind. That's a bad joke.
Oh, God. Yeah. Bisping's blind. So, yeah, I am, dickhead. As a bat. Okay. I'm walking into walls. The main thing is, and I say this all the time, as long as he doesn't give up on himself. If you give up on yourself, it's over. You know, and it sounds like he hasn't. So I look forward to it. I've invited him out to my house. I said, why don't you come out here for a bit? You know, you and Brendan come stay at my house. We'll do some training. You know, not that I'm going to fix it all for you, but, you know, not that I think I'm the guru, because I'm not, far from it. But, you know, if you want a little training holiday, come and bloody see me.